All right. Thank you again, everyone, for joining us today. As Brian mentioned, we've got a couple new features we're going to discuss here that came out in the 25.6.1 version, which is loaded in the lab system I've got here. Uh, DID management is not new to Verify with Teams. That came out in 25.4, so a couple of small releases ago, but we did expand on that. We had some of our customers ask for additional fields to be added to the output. So we went ahead and did that, and that's what I'm going to show you right here. So DID management, I'm going to move over to configure. I don't have anything configured in here for Teams, so I'll just go through that. We do have another webinar and a knowledge base article on how to do this, but I thought I'd show you real quick here. So we want to start with DID sites. This is a default site. I'm not going to touch that. I'm just going to slide over here and create DID site. I'm going to name this guy Teams, spell right. And that's really all you need. I mean, you can fill in, this is all optional information. If you want to fill in this information, you can. You can go, we don't have any DID blocks, so I can't really add anything there. So I'm just going to do a quick save here. And then I'm going to slide over to DID blocks, and we're going to create a block. Notice there's no blocks listed in here. So I'm going to go ahead and create a block, and we'll name that Teams block. And again, this you can fill in if you'd like. I'm going to add it to my Teams site. So that's selected. And then the number info is the important stuff. So we're in North America. We're going to use that +1 numbering format. So for me, I'm going to use 205.418. I think it's 2200 to 2299. Should cover it. And I can exclude numbers out of that range if I want to. But then I'm going to go over to Platform Association, choose my platform, which gives you the cross cluster. That's the nice thing about this DID feature. You can do both CUCM and Teams. Hopefully in the future we'll be adding more platforms to that. So I'm just going to choose my Teams platform because that's what we're talking about today, and add platform, and it's there. That's really all I need to do for the initial setup. So then I'm going to hop over to DID management, and we're going to select what we just added here. I'm going to add my Teams site, my Teams block. I need to put a search parameter in just for the last 4 digits. That way it'll cover all that whole range. And just for ease of use and to show you what we here to show you, I'm just going to select active. We should have 2 active phone numbers in here. Yep, there we go. And the new, let's see, let me just get down here. The new fields we added, put them at the end here. Anything after this voice routing policy. So these are the new fields that we added, or columns that we added to be able to see in the DID number range. So if available usage, and this is all pulled from your Teams tenant. So your location, user email, type of service, geographic, emergency address for 911 type calls, and licensed usages. And just to show you a quick, I've got the same numbers here in my Teams admin center, and these are the fields that it's pulling from, basically. Emergency address, assigned user, available usages, and type of service and license usages. So obviously we're pulling more information than that. Oops. And that's in some of these other fields, but we're focusing on the new fields for today. Easy enough to get, once you create a site, once you create a block, and then go into your DID management and pull that information up, and you'll be able to see it here. You can export this, export the results. You choose your delivery. Most likely, if you got a lot of fields, I would suggest using Excel. You can download or email those out. So great way to keep track of your DID numbers for your Teams tenant. So now that covers that, I'm going to slide over to a different lab. and go over the alerting for teams. We did just add this in 25.6, as Brian mentioned, and it's only available right now for email output. So you're going to have to make sure you have an SMTP server configured in your Verify system, and that's done with the gear icon and notification delivery. SMTP server. As this loads up here. There we go. So I've got information filled in here for my SMTP server. And then the next thing you'll want to do as far as setup is email recipients. You'll want to make sure that, because the alert uses a pick list, and that pick list is derived from the users in this email recipients list. Of course, being slow because it's a webinar. And I've added myself here, so you can obviously add multiple email addresses. You can use anything that's a valid email address you can put in there. So that you want to make sure that's configured, and then we'll head back on over. Choose my Teams cluster, and I can go right to alerts, or if you're coming in here fresh, just loading up a team. Coming into call analytics reporting, you can choose your cluster, it puts you in history. But to do the alerting, to set up the alerts, we want to go over to configure. And I've got a couple options here. This is the alerts. And I've got one built here. I just called it a legal call. And you can fill that in. The call origination window, I would leave this at any. The reason we put that in here is for if you're going to be reprocessing older data for whatever reason, usually used for call manager more than Teams. But you don't want processed data from 6 months ago, or 3 months ago, or even a week ago, trigger an alert. So you can specify, as the data is processing, we only want to see stuff that's current for the last hour, or whatever you choose. So like I said, most of the time you're going to leave that at any. Set your time zone. Label set really don't need here unless you want to change some of the column names. And then you choose the available time of day windows. And that's another thing that's in this configure screen here. I'll show you in a minute. I'm choosing all hours. My search set, kind of very similar to reporting. If you're familiar with our reporting, I just named it phone number. And my search is for anything call party number that ends with this particular number. We've got a whole bunch of different things you can set the alert for. Common one would be calling user, or calling number, calling user, call party user if you want to get alerted if someone's calling a specific person. Obviously, the called number would be nice. You can use that for 911 alerts and so forth. You can also do duration, and of course our combo fields that are available with our reports as well, calling or call party number. So any activity on that particular number will trigger an alert. And duration, say you want only calls that are greater than 5 minutes. Say greater than, this is in seconds, so we would do 600 seconds. So, that'll only trigger this number, and if it's greater than 5-minute call. You could use the call duration just by itself. If you want to see all calls over, say, 10 minutes or an hour or something, you can trigger on that as well. And then we head on over to delivery. Like I said, the only option available right now is email. We'll probably be expanding on that in the future. Just to get this out to the field, we just chose email, and this is where the pick list comes in handy. I already had myself chosen, so just leave that there. You can auto-generate email subject, or you can create your own. This is the default. You can change that if you like. We're just going to cancel this. I'm not going to place a call to have it trigger an alert, but I do have an example of the output. Here, this is the output that you would receive via email. The Verify CDR alert gives you information about the call. So date and time duration, origination, termination time, duration. who originated that call, and the terminating where it went. Obviously, this is what we're triggering on for the alert. And then more, details about the call, if there's a session failure or some type of failure, and then it just gives you a recap call scenarios. This is what we are placing, what type of call it was. It was connected. It was a medium in duration, peer-to-peer type call, and so on and so forth. With that, you'll also get an attachment, and attachment is very similar to our reporting output, so it just gives you the same information, just in a different format here in a PDF. So I think that was all. Oh, time of day windows. Same configure option. You can set your time of day windows, all hours, whatever you want to set up. You can add some here, and however you want however your business is set up for, normal business hours, after hours, weekends, and so forth.